Hey, Jordan Bench here, jordanbench.com, and this video is all about foods to avoid when dealing with leaky gut. So one of the reasons why we get leaky gut in the first place is because of the foods we're eating. Some of these foods can actually feed candida yeast overgrowth, and some of these foods can actually just cause direct damage right into our intestinal lining. So about 2 years ago, I started realizing that I was having issues with my health. Several different things that were happening, and I was able to look at all this stuff holistically and connect the dots and figure out it was all related to having a leaky gut. So I started researching, what can I do to fix this? What can I do to actually start to heal and to fix my leaky gut? So one of the things I realized was I actually had to stop causing damage to it. And like I said, there's certain foods we eat that cause damage. So one of those foods is gluten. We need to stay away from gluten. Gluten contains a protein molecule called gliadin. Gliadin, it like wreaks havoc on our system. So we have what's called a tight junction within our intestinal tract. This tight junction is what allows particles to come into our bloodstream. So gliadin basically just wreaks havoc on that. Think of it as like a filter or like a mesh lining or like a net. It's supposed to be very, very tight, not allowing big things through. But when gliadin comes in, it begins to separate and cause gaps and break through, allowing other larger particles to come through as well, causing inflammation, leading to all these different health issues that we end up having. So that's gluten. Stay away from gluten. Most people can't tolerate it or handle it. The next one would be grains. So for instance, rice has what's called phytic acids. So the phytic acids act as a protective coating, and the protective coating is very hard for our body to break down. Therefore, it causes inflammation. Another one we need to watch out for is refined sugars and artificial sweeteners. So the sugars actually feed the yeast. It feeds the candida yeast. When it feeds it, it begins to overpopulate and overcrowd our gut, our good bacteria. And we need to have as much good bacteria as possible to keep our systems healthy, right? So when it begins to feed it, we get what's called candida yeast overgrowth. And that's bad because what happens is candida yeast overgrowth, it begins to just break down, decompose our bodies early, because that's what it's meant to do, but it's just meant to do it later in life. And what we're doing with sugar is we're accelerating that whole process. The next food to watch out for would be refined oils, more specifically vegetable oils. So for instance, canola oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil. We have to watch out for these. These are omega-6 fatty acids, and these will directly cause inflammation to our system. And they'll also cause issues dealing with our intestinal lining. So we have to watch out for those. So here's the thing. Based on where you're at dealing with your gut health, if it's not that bad, then yeah, just back off some of these foods. Don't go, you don't have to go all out, but just back off. But if you are experiencing some really big issues, some severe issues, then I would definitely really limit these foods or eliminate them altogether. And I would actually challenge you, because this is what I did. I actually eliminated gluten for like 2 weeks, all right? Do that, eliminate gluten, do it for 2 weeks, and see how you feel. See what happens. Because I guarantee you're going to feel much better when you just cut out gluten. So the next thing I would do is, if you're not sure if you have leaky gut in the first place, I've actually created a quiz. I'll put a link in the description below. All you gotta do is click on that link. It'll lead you to my webpage. And right there's the quiz. You click on the quiz, you answer the questions. At the very end, you put your name and email in there. It'll spit out the results and it'll let you know at what degree you have leaky gut or if you have it at all. Now, it's not 100% accurate, but it is going to get you in the right direction. It's going to give you a good idea of where you're at. So look, if you have any questions, please put them below. I'll do my best to answer them. And if you like this video, if you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up. And I'll talk to you later.